Hello, Maurieo! For 140 seconds, vlog number 96, smoko. Hello and welcome to this, my 96th vlog, soon to be 100. So, smoko. In the course of my vlogging and communicating with people outside of New Zealand and not so much Australia, I quite often refer to smoko. And a lot of people don't really get what I mean. It's particularly these days when now smoking is banned pretty much indoors. So when people go for smoko, they don't actually smoke anymore, although they used to. So we have the smoko shed and smoko, usually morning tea or tea break, morning tea break. We have a cup of tea and a bit of a lunch. Depends if you're in construction sometimes. We don't have lunch, we just have morning smoko and afternoon smoko. So there's only 2 breaks during the day, but they're longer. So say for instance you might have 2 10-minute tea breaks or 15-minute tea breaks and then a half hour for lunch. Well, instead of that, you just have a tea break at 10 o'clock, half hour, and then another one at 2 o'clock for half hour, and that's your days. That's how it works, and it works quite well. So we have the smoko shed, and it's where we go and have our little breaks and have our lunch. It used to be where you'd have a cigarette and things like that, and apparently the word smoko originated, from that, and mostly in the shearing sheds and things like that, but apparently during the war. So it was any time when we had a little bit of a break, but these times now it's like, just go and have a cup of tea and a sandwich or a pie or something like that. So it's called smoko. Except I did get caught out. We used to have smoko morning tea. And then when I went up into the mining in the 1980s, they started talking about crib. And I'd been down in Dunedin, so I knew that a crib was like similar to what we call in the North Island a batch, which is like a little seaside, a modest seaside sort of little holiday home, usually built out of bits of stuff that's purloined from various work sites and things like that, corrugated on. Pretty simple construction, usually built by amateurs in the weekends, or it used to be, but it's all changed now with regulation and things like that. So the South Islanders used to have a crib, the North Islanders used to have a batch, but these miners, they were having the crib, and it turns out that cribs like smoko, and I put a little bit of thought into it, and obviously because in the mining, especially up in here with the gas and that, you weren't allowed to smoke underground. So and apparently they used to play cribbage, a card game, and they'd have their crib tin or crib tins and things like that. So they used to call smoko crib, and they'd go to the crib hut or whatever the equivalent was underground. It was all very interesting. So you'll hear me maybe talk about smoko. So I just thought I'd take the opportunity to explain what I mean. It just means a tea break. It doesn't necessarily mean a smoke-filled room, although it used to in the old days when we smoked anywhere. So it's just another thing we can talk about. So that's it about smoko. Now, nobody guessed the background yesterday. The background yesterday is it's a sculpture called the Auto Cube or the Auto Accident, and it's in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Now I have, when I look through the demographics of my channel, I've got quite a few views from Saudi. Quite a lot of guys look at a lot of my survey stuff, I guess, and things like that. So I thought, oh, well, I'll put one up from there. And apparently, they're quite a wealthy country with some of the oil money and that. And they organised a lot of different sculptures from sculptors from around the world to come and build various sculptures in the islands, in the traffic islands in the middle of their roads. And this is one that was built there. It's called the Auto Cube. And apparently there's some stuff by some quite famous sculptors, I think Henry Moore and different ones like that from around the world. And they're actually, some of them are now quite valuable. And although they're a bit of a problem in the islands, it's turned out, the traffic islands, and they're thinking of there's talk of moving some of them. So that was in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Now today's one should be a little bit easier. There's quite a few clues in there, and it's something that appears quite often in the news over here in New Zealand as today's background. So that's all very good. Now, subscribers, we're closing in on 180 at pretty much glacial pace. But hopefully, we can get just another 7 or 8 subscribers and get us up to 180, so I can have a vlog topic around 180. I want to use the 180 from the darts. So try and give that another crack. So that's all good. And we're closing in on 60,000 views as well. So 180 subscribers, 60,000 views is coming up soon. So thanks everybody for your patronage and watching the vlog. I love your comments. So keep the comments coming in. That's pretty awesome. Keep it going. A bit of banter backwards and forwards is very good. I've been out looking at some of your vlogs and things. Those of you that are vlogging, and it's always a bit of fun seeing what other people are doing. So keep it up. Stay safe. Stay happy. Cheers. See you.